What's up guys, Bill here from Mad Max, and today we're here to talk about the EOTech Vudu.
Yeah.
So what we got here is the EOTech Vudu 1-6. It is sitting in an American Defense manufactured mount, QD mount, pretty sick mount, not here to talk about that. It's mounted up to my 50 Shades of FDE build. If you want to know more about that, did a video a while back, it'll be listed above. But let's get into it. It is a 1-6 first focal plane, and it's battery powered, which is pretty cool. So the reticle has got the typical EOTech dono to death, but inside of that dono to death there's a mil hashed crosshair. So when you're on the 6 power, that's all you see is the mil hashed crosshair. I'll get a close up of that. And then when you're on the 1 power, you got the whole dono to death thing going on. It's roughly 10 inches long. Ooh. And about 20 ounces, give or take, which is very comparable to the Vortex Razor, which I guess is the golden standard these days for low power variable optics. It is a 0.2 mil adjustments on exposed turrets, which I personally like. Some people don't. You can bump them, whatever. I mean, I try to zero every time I shoot anyway, so that's not a that's a non-issue. It takes CR123 batteries under this little cap here, and to turn on the reticle, it's got a power button, and then turn down the illumination and turn up the illumination. It's all bubbles instead of a knob like most other scopes. The glass on this is super clear. It's comparable to Razors, maybe not quite as clear as like a Night Force or Elcan, but with Trichicon and like the high-end Vortex, it's comparable to that. I'll get a nice close-up in a minute. Let me get down to the cons up front. Alright, so I'm cross-eye dominant. I shoot righty, but I'm left-eye dominant. I learned how to shoot at a young age, so I didn't know that I should have been shooting lefty. But when you're shooting with this, since it's not a true 1 power, there's going to be a little bit of magnification there. When you're up on it, my left eye is what's focused in, and so I'm not really looking at the reticle. So it took me a little bit to get used to. It's going to take a lot of training. I got to do the whole squint, close the left eye. So it became an issue, but with training you can work through it. If you're right eye dominant, this thing's good, golden, good to go. Another con is the illumination isn't quite daylight bright for those sunny days. It's going to be more of like a dark maroon than a bright red like the Vortex. The Vortex is almost like a low power variable optic red dot. This is like a true scope with a reticle that you see the whole time. However, the reticle is etched, so you don't need to turn on the illumination to see in the daylight. It's just a black reticle. I'll close up. But the pros, like, it's EOTech, so you know the quality's there. They have good warranties. Like, the customer service is good from what I've been told. If you're dealing with current optics, if you're dealing with stuff from before the whole thermal drift thing, you might run into issues, but we're not worried about that. We're worried about the Vudu. This is all post that. What's nice, it comes with the a little screw, and so you don't need to get like a scope lever. So you don't need to get a scope lever. It comes with a screw. You just screw it in, and the adjustment is smooth like homemade apple pie. The MSRP on this is right around $1,400. I didn't pay that much. I paid like $8.50 on Amazon. I caught it some, I don't know how. Most of the time you find it for about $1,100 on like Optics Planet, Amazon, Midway, Brownells, all that. But for the price, the stuff that it costs less than the optics that you're comparing it to, the Razors, the Night Forces, the Platinum primary arms. So you're getting a good optic for the price, and Vudu has the reputation of EOTech behind it, you know. So providing you're not worried about having that super daylight bright crisp reticle. The reticle is crisp, but super daylight bright reticle, like aim point bright, you're not going to have that. You're going to be better off just not using the illumination during like super daylight bright and just using the black reticle. But if you're okay with that and you're right eye dominant, this optic is good to go for sure. The furthest I've taken it out is about 250, 260 yards. With the 5.56, it's a non-issue. I had it on my scar before this, which you can see up there, but that's getting swapped out for something you'll see in a couple weeks. So if you have any more questions about this Vudu, I do recommend it. If you're left eye dominant and you shoot right-handed, it's going to take a little bit more training, but that's literally any magnified optic you have to deal with that. So that is really a non-issue. So yes, I do recommend it. It's great bang for the buck. A lot of times you'll be able to find them on good sales like I did. I'm not the only one out there. Alright guys, thanks for watching. If you have any more questions, drop a comment down below. Like if you haven't already. Subscribe if you haven't already. My face should be right about here. I have a couple other videos for you to watch over in this direction, and I'll see you next time with a different gun or piece of gear.